The $3,000 full-frame Pyxis 6 is an undeniable success for Blackmagic, and its new design fixes what pocket cinema camera users have been complaining about for years: the ergonomics. And since its announcement, it's been really cool talking to you all, hearing your feedback and reading your comments. But in the background, there has been a secret project that I've been wanting to share, but it's still got a lot of loose ends to tie up before I publish the video. And that video ties directly into what we are talking about today: the Pyxis 6K and the best accessories you can currently order before the cameras start to ship in June. So let's do some shopping. And as always, feel free to drop a comment below, especially if I missed something or if you have a much better solution. After witnessing the launch of the Pyxis 6K, I've been mulling over whether it's an upgrade for current 6K owners, because it most certainly is for everyone else. And then there's some who still prefer the hybrid body style form factor of the pockets. And that's okay, horses for courses. For me, the Pyxis is a no-brainer. The form factor, for a lot of reasons, is just better than my 4K and 6K Pro, but like other camera systems, has shortcomings that need to be addressed before I can call it my dream camera, or I can start putting it on jolts. Just a quick side note, Blackmagic Design has stated that the Pyxis is not a replacement for the pocket liner cameras. It is a standalone product. And if that's true, only time will tell. Okay, let's get back to the accessories. Now, not everyone is going to need all of what I'm about to buy or suggest or propose. You may already own some of this stuff, but these items are what I need to fix the addressable issues on my L-mount unit when it arrives. That's right, I have ordered the more adaptable L-mount over the PL mount, but not for the reasons you may think, which I'll get into before the end of the video. There's a pretty simple reason why, and it's not for the ability to run low quality VNDs via an adapter. Order drop $2,200 on the new L to PL ND Kippetai Strata Electro. That's far too much for a budget cinema camera build. I know, you get what you pay for. Yes, they are full spectrum solid NDs in the Strata that won't cause cross polarization like the Mickey, Canon and Photodiox VNDs do, but I would just rather use a traditional matte box and solid NDs and not have to deal with fixing cross-polarization issues or IR pollution in post. 4x565 filters are no longer expensive, and I've decided to go with a full set from K&F Concept, which are very good quality for the price. And as I already own several matte boxes, this is just a better option for me. Plus I own PL primes and zooms, EF Cine primes, anamorphic primes, and a host of other lenses that I don't want locked out by the lens mount. And if you're like me, then the L-mount is the best choice. Now, with the additional money I've saved buying the Pyxis over, say, an FX6, I've been able to purchase a DJI LiDAR Pro Creator Kit to resolve the lack of autofocus in the camera. In fact, any camera that I want to run manual focus cinema lenses on and still have some form of AF, I now can. At around €850 for a system that can map a stack of lenses and perform solidly on any camera system is a pretty safe bet. And probably a better bet or a better investment for emerging solo creators than the Pyxis itself. Now, to see whether the LiDAR is actually working properly, you will need to buy yourself an SDI monitor. And yes, I've read all the comments online and seen how angry some people are that the screen doesn't rotate, that it's fixed on the side of their camera, and yada, 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 yada. Look, I get it, but the side monitor really is just a big, beautiful, lockable menu screen that you can also see an image on. Most cinema cameras have a side operator's menu screen, but as the Pyxis is designed for solo shooters, it's on the operator's side. But I get you. Maybe it could have been placed somewhere else, but maybe, also maybe, Blackmagic Design was also thinking every person and their dog already has an external monitor, so maybe it's just better to let them choose their own. Maybe. I don't know. If there was any gripe to be had, it should be the shift away from HDMI to SDI. Welcome to the world of cinema cameras. Traditionally, SDI monitors have been expensive, but that's all changed in recent years. Now there's lots of brands that ship monitors with both SDI and HDMI and then jam them with a bunch of other previously super expensive features like wireless distribution, touchscreen camera control, and onboard recording. Currently, my favorite brand of monitor is Shimbol. I've owned the Memory One for over a year now, and it truly is an awesome high brightness monitor, but it lacks SDI. Luckily, Shimbol have a new model, which is the CM5 monitor recorder that is HDMI and SDI enabled and can control cameras via the touchscreen and USB-C connectivity. At the moment, the CM5 and the Pyxis are not touch control compatible, but like other current brands, likely will be in the future with Blackmagic design cameras. But they also have an SDI wireless transmission model called the 600MS, which is also a monitor recorder. The 600MS can allow you to wirelessly transmit or receive, record, or both from your camera feed on set without any additional cost. At sub $500, the 600MS can allow multiple people to connect via mobile devices to the monitor feed. Now, if you haven't used Shimbol monitors before, I think you'll be surprised. They are built far better and use way less power than Atomos products, and they have zero licensing fees. I have a video review of the memory one here. The only downside is the recording codecs are not great. But for the Blackmagic Pyxis, or any Blackmagic cameras for that matter, you don't need an external monitor recorder. So this isn't really an issue. It's just a bonus feature if for some reason your camera to cloud, your internal CFExpress cards, or your external USB-C drive all fail at the same time, which would just mean you're pretty unlucky. But if Shimbol is not for you, Hollyland also have a great new product, the Mars M1 Enhanced, which is a good size, bright, and affordable. There's also monitors from Portkeys like the BM5, and of course the discounted Blackmagic Design Video Assist that are now very, very affordable for what they can do. Now, I have ordered the Shimbol 600MS with its inbuilt transmitter receiver because I like the fact that it's an all-in-one unit, doesn't add additional cables, plus it's affordable. Next up, we've got batteries. Now, our original pocket cameras use Canon batteries. Then we switched to Sony MPF or V mounts. Now we're switching again to Sony BPU batteries until someone releases a V-Lock adapter. Plus, the camera, if you didn't know, doesn't ship with a battery. Why, you may ask? Well, if you do a quick search online, you'll probably fall off your chair like I did when you see the prices. The prices are just all over the place. They are not cheap like MPF batteries, and the Sony, or the genuine Sony batteries, are crazy expensive. They range in size similar to the MPFs like 30, 60, 90, 100, etc., with larger ones offering up to 5 hours of runtime. But unless you want to risk buying them from, say, AliExpress, be prepared to get slugged with a hefty bill for batteries. Personally, I'm going to avoid them as I already own block batteries, which are far more universal, and a simple DTAP to Pyxis adapter will fix this issue at a fraction of the cost. I have no doubt that Alvin's will have one available soon, probably for sub $80. Now, rigging these to the camera should be fairly easy, as Blackmagic Design does provide 2 mounting plates with the camera's purchase, and the camera has ample mounting points. There are 2 at the top rear, which would be perfect to mount a tilting V-Lock power plate, or you could simply rail mount it until a more elegant option is provided by, say, Small Rig. Also, for $60 with an all-metal design and side rosette, you can't go past the Blackmagic Design side plate, which I will be using for my Focus Pro side handle to control run stop via Bluetooth. Luckily for us, the camera is made from robust enough materials to rig directly to, or we could get away with an inexpensive top cheese plate for less than, say, $50. But as we're here helping each other's shopping lists, let me know what sort of side handle and top handle combo you're going to go with. I actually really like the Blackmagic Design offering. It has an awesome price point, but I'm not a fan of the top handle design. I prefer lower profile ones like this one from Nitsi. So hopefully Nitsi can update this to accommodate the new Blackmagic Design EVF and a monitor mount from this front mounting point. I've been waiting for a super long time for this, and I believe the new Blackmagic Design EVF is just going to sell like hotcakes and is the EVF that I have pre-ordered for the system. I already have another camera that I can use with it, my 5-year-old EOS R, which has been converted by Canon for stop motion, meaning that the USB-C port is actually the video signal out port. So if I can use it on more than one camera, it's a good deal. But really what I'm hoping for, and this is the reason why I pre-ordered the L-Mount version, is that one of these companies will have the foresight to design their upcoming cages to natively provide lens support for kip-on, medium format, L to speed boosters for a bigger than full frame field of view. I know this sounds weird because the sensor is already full frame, But for those of us that are actually chasing IMAX coverage, this could be a good budget solution if you can't afford the 17K Ursa Cine. The only issue is the adapters aren't cheap. They're around $900 US, but they are extremely high quality and will open up a world of amazing cheap lenses to use with the Pyxis. And this decision really is the reason I have chosen the L-Mount version, gone with the KNF filters and matte box, pre-ordered the EVF and invested into the DJI LiDAR system. Now there's a couple of other things left as the Pyxis now uses CFExpress Type B media cards. Look, I exclusively use these 4TB cards. I've got a stack of them. These are the cheapest 4TB cards on the market, but for a Pyxis build I would consider them to be expensive. But Angelbird also have the best, most affordable cards in other sizes that are super reliable. I'm not a fan of recording externally when you can do it internally, and that's just because I don't like having cables dangling around. But as I already have this Angelbird recording module, I could expand the camera's recording media to 12 terabytes of capacity, which is just insane. These cards offload super fast and have data loss coverage. And there you have it. That's my Pyxis 6K shopping list, but I would love to hear how you are all going to accessorize your Pyxis in the comments below. And if you haven't already seen my other Blackmagic design camera content, you can check out some of my other videos right here.
Swipe up, tag your friends, like and subscribe, comment below. If I make this follow, don't let this flop, wait till the